It's always difficult to decide to hand rear an animal, to be a surrogate parent. In the last few decades, only a handful of polar bear cubs have been hand reared, and it's a challenge every time. But these animals deserve a chance. Like a lot of young animals, Nora didn't take to her formula right away. She had some digestibility issues with it, and they had to make some tweaks. At this point, she was lucky to be alive. The Columbus Zoo did a remarkable job with what is an extremely challenging situation. Columbus was very invested in her transition to the Oregon Zoo. They sent some of her caregivers who spent time with her once she arrived and really helped our staff learn more about taking care of Nora. So when Nora first arrived, just like a toddler, she would throw tantrums, kicking and screaming if she didn't get what she wanted. One of our challenges was simply helping Nora cope with her own frustration, having her be able to spend time with self-directed play and not need constant human companionship. She may want what she wants, she may have an attitude, but she is extremely intelligent, clever, fun, playful, and just really a joy to be around. We knew we would have challenges with Nora due to her unusual upbringing. Imagine you're a bear being hand-raised by people. You've maybe seen another bear in the distance, but all you've ever known is people, and you may well think you are a person. Our goal from the beginning was to help Nora learn to be a bear, and only another bear can teach you how to do that. Tassel was an adult female that had lots of experience with other bears. She'd always been calm and playful and curious. We thought she'd be a great candidate. Tassel and Nora had seen each other and smelled each other, but eventually you have to open the door. And when we did, Tassel came running out, ready for a play session, and I think it terrified Nora. Tassel was giving all the right signals as a polar bear that she meant no harm to Nora, but she didn't know how to read the signals, and it caused her quite a bit of anxiety. We have a couple techniques for helping animals manage their own anxiety. One is behavioral. We do these Zen sessions where we sit with them and we help them learn how to calm their body and calm their emotional response. The other, just like you would with your pet, is to use medication. She was on an anti-anxiety medication during that time just to help her calm down. Our number one priority was still to help Nora learn how to be a bear and to get in with another bear. It was clear it might take longer for this introduction than we had thought, for Nora to really learn that Tassel was a friend. Climate change and loss of sea ice is forcing some polar bears to have to swim much longer distances. Scientists need to understand how this might affect them. In 2015, we began collaborating with the U.S. Geological Survey to look at the energetics of swimming in polar bears. This had never been done before, and it gave us a great opportunity to potentially get data from Tassel, an older bear, and also from Nora, who was a juvenile. Entering the swim flume was something we trained them to do voluntarily. Tassel's close, trusting relationship with her caregiving staff is how we were able to accomplish all these things. She enjoyed participating, and these are things that you can only learn from zoo bears. It's just not possible to do it with bears in the wild. We knew our time with Tassel would be limited just due to her age. She was one of the oldest polar bears in the world. It was around this time we needed to do a medical exam on Tassel due to some tooth issues that she had, and we identified a tumor. Tassel gave us the unique opportunity to learn from zoo bears things that might help save her wild counterparts. If sea ice decline continues in this way, some polar bear populations will become extinct. It's critical that we understand what's going to happen with polar bears and how we might be able to do something to intervene. The first time Nora discovered the flume, it was on her own. We had given her access to it, and she wandered in there and thought it was basically a playpen made just for her. Remarkably, Nora got so good at the swim flume so quickly that we were able to collect data from her. We had been waiting essentially for another bear in the population to be old enough to leave her mother, and the goal had always been to try to get them together if we could. Nora has had a lot of transitions in her young life, but so do polar bears in the wild. This is about the age where mom would sort of push them off on their way and they'd have to survive in the Arctic on their own. So these are different challenges than wild bears, but they're coming at the right time developmentally for her. I think Nora's survival against the odds is an important parallel to polar bears in the wild. Millions and millions of people have seen videos of Nora and fallen in love with her. Imagine if all of those people took action for climate. We could change the future. And it's not just about polar bears, it's about all of us. It's hard to see Nora go, but when I think back on those early days and her chances of survival, and now watching her turn into an adult bear and go off to the next step to meet another bear and be a bear, we couldn't be happier for her. Those first critical weeks will affect her joints and her bones as she gets older, but she's already defied the odds. Nora is a survivor. She is strong, she is bold, she is confident. She's also a little bit of a peanut. She's kind of small, which might help with the joint issues, but she's a fighter. She's gonna make it.